Now at 6, we are following new developments in a high-profile case that shocked Hudson. A Cleveland State University professor killed in his own home.
Todd Morgan's body was discovered last month. A woman has been arrested and indicted on several charges, including murder.
On April 19, 2023, in the affluent suburb of Hudson, Ohio, the discovery of a respected university professor's body would shock a community and reveal a double life that ultimately led to his tragic demise. This is the case of Dr. Todd Morgan, a dedicated father, accomplished academic, and a man whose private choices would lead to devastating consequences. In the spring of 2023, Hudson police were dispatched to perform a welfare check at the home of 41-year-old Dr. Todd Morgan. The call came from his ex-girlfriend Mary, concerned when he failed to pick up their nearly 5-year-old daughter from school, something completely out of character for the devoted father. When officers Peggy and Bowen arrived at Morgan's spacious colonial-style home on West Streetsboro Street, just before 7 p.m. that evening, they made a gruesome discovery that would launch a complex murder investigation. Just inside the back door lay Todd Morgan, wearing only a dressing gown, with significant trauma to his head. Blood had pooled and dried around his body, indicating he had been dead for some time. Shell casings were scattered nearby, but strangely, no weapon was immediately visible. "Radio, go back. Get EMS out here," one officer called, though it was clear the professor was beyond medical help. As the officers conducted a sweep of the residence, the crime scene only became more perplexing. Another shell casing was found at the base of the stairs leading to the second floor. In one of the children's bedrooms, a piggy bank had been knocked over. The master bedroom told another story entirely. The bed was in disarray, bottles of alcohol sat open, and empty condom packages were scattered across the floor. The back door appeared to have been forced open from the inside, with a piece of the door frame found several feet away on the deck. Bloody footprints tracked from the house down toward the driveway, yet valuable electronics remained untouched in plain view, and Morgan's Porsche SUV still sat in the driveway. Dr. Todd Morgan was well respected in academic circles. At just 41, he had accomplished much in his professional life. He received his bachelor's degree from Cleveland University in 2005, followed by his master's degree 1 year later. In 2015, he earned his PhD from Kent State University. After holding positions as an assistant professor in Massachusetts and Michigan, he returned to his alma mater, Cleveland State University, just 2 years before his death. A profile of Morgan, published as part of CSU's Prof Talk series, painted him as a dedicated educator focused on business innovation and strategic firm orientations. University president Dr. Laura Bloomberg described him as a kind, dedicated colleague and a skilled educator, who was well-liked and respected by students, appreciated for his down-to-earth demeanor. But according to those who knew him best, Todd's greatest joy in life was his children, a 10-year-old son with his ex-wife Teresa, and a nearly 5-year-old daughter with ex-girlfriend Mary. Friends unfailingly described him as a loving father who delighted in goofing around with his kids, playing video games, having dance-offs, and taking them on trips. On the day he was found, his daughter had waited patiently at school, certain her father would arrive as he always did. Instead, it was her mother who eventually came, uncertain of how to tell the little girl that her father would never pick her up again. The autopsy revealed that Todd had been shot 7 times. Based on the stippling to his skin, one of these shots was determined to have been fired at close range. 2 bullets had struck his left clavicle area, which the medical examiner concluded would have been fatal within minutes. During their search of the home, investigators found multiple registered firearms belonging to Todd. A 9mm handgun buried under clothing in a closet, a shotgun nearby, and a second 9mm handgun with ammunition under a Spider-Man mask on the shelf of the master bedroom nightstand. However, none matched the weapon that killed him. Todd's wallet was found, but contained no cash. More significantly, his cell phone was missing. Neighbors were interviewed, hoping someone had spotted unusual activity or an unknown vehicle. A woman named Linda from down the street mentioned that her daughter had babysat for Todd occasionally. She described him as odd, finding it suspicious that he drove an expensive car, worked from home, and had the money to fully renovate his large house. "I always said there's something off about him," Linda told officers. "I get really feelings about people when I meet them, and I always said there seems to be something strange about him." What initially appeared to be a puzzling homicide would soon reveal itself as something far more complex. The investigation caught its first major break when detectives discovered that a 911 hang-up call had been placed from a cell phone belonging to 31-year-old Terreionna Paschal around the time of the murder. When a dispatcher called back, they left a message. "Hello, this is the Hudson Police Department. Your cell phone just called 911, calling to make sure there's no problems. Please call us back." Neighbors' Ring cameras had captured images of a car pulling into Morgan's driveway and a woman carrying a box. The same cameras documented bloody footprints outside the back door when she left. Another critical piece of evidence emerged when investigators found 2 burned mild cigars at the murder scene. DNA testing linked them to Paschal. Detectives later discovered a photo on Paschal's social media showing her with a similar cigar, burning in an ashtray beside her. Phone records placed Paschal at Morgan's home on the morning of the murder and revealed that she had taken his phone before discarding it along the highway in nearby Macedonia. As investigators dug deeper, the connection between Morgan and his killer became clear. Computer records revealed that Paschal was active on dating sites and apps. And that's how she met Todd Morgan. On April 18, 2023, the day before the murder, Paschal searched online for Morgan's profile and photos of his house. Court documents would later reveal that the pair had met on the dating app Bumble and had been chatting for a few days before Morgan invited her over. The digital trail painted a timeline of the fatal encounter. Phone records placed Paschal at Morgan's home shortly after midnight. At 7:04 a.m. the next morning, Morgan sent her $50 via Cash App. Minutes later, gunshots rang out in the quiet suburban neighborhood. Investigators also discovered that Paschal was working as a prostitute, with messages in court records indicating her fees for services. Faced with overwhelming evidence, Terreionna Paschal pleaded guilty to aggravated murder with a gun specification. At her sentencing hearing, Morgan's mother, Sandy, held up photos of her son and addressed his killer directly. "Only God, Todd, and you know the truth of what happened on April 19th. All I know is he was brutally murdered by you and he basically died for nothing."
I'm very sorry, and I hope that one day that you can find it in your hearts to forgive me.
Before learning her fate, Paschal made a brief statement. "To his family, I'm very sorry, and I hope that one day that you can find it in your hearts to forgive me." Judge Allison Bro sentenced Paschal to life in prison with eligibility for parole after 23 years. The murder of Dr. Todd Morgan ripped apart the lives of his loved ones, especially his 2 children who lost their dedicated father. His case serves as a stark reminder that the digital footprints we leave behind can tell a story we never intended to share. If you found this case analysis informative, please support our channel by hitting the like button and subscribing for more true crime documentaries. Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to hit the notification bell to stay updated on our latest uploads. Thanks for watching.